Okay. If you're like me, you're one of these people that have kind of like me that's been watching all this stuff going on in the news, just watching the incredible insanity that's occurring all over the country. Mobs of mindless people just ripping through towns and cities and beating people up and all this kind of stuff. Now, of course, obviously, the bottom line is that the world is being God's judgment is being shed upon us. And one of the first things that's going to happen when that happens is God's going to pull His hand away, and all the evil people, which is exactly what all these protesters and these rioters and these leftists and everything are. Those are the evil people. I'm not saying that everybody on the right side of politics is good, but it's, if you want to know where the most evil people are, who the most evil people are, it's the leftists. It's the people on the left. Now, I'm not talking about classical liberals. I'm talking about leftists. Okay, there's a difference. But watching all this stuff occur, and it's just, you know, I guess I don't know if you call it desensitizing or what, but it's just becoming, it's almost funny to me now watching some of the stuff that happens, because there's these clowns. They'll stand in traffic in areas where people have to go to and from work and to and from the hospital and to and from getting their children and daycare and all this kind of stuff. They'll stand in front of cars, and then when the person in the car says, "Okay, if you don't get out of my way, I'm just going to start driving," they'll pile up on top of the car. And then when the person starts driving, they'll scream, "You're running over us! You're running over us! You stop this! You're killing us! You're hurting us! How dare you? How dare you presume to do such a terrible thing? How dare you presume to run over us? We're just peaceful protesters." All the while they're beating on the car, all the while they're beating in the windows with skateboards and whatever, and they're pulling people out of their cars and they're beating them up. And I think they may have killed a few people. I haven't actually seen one video yet where somebody was killed, but I've heard that there have been some people killed. Uh, okay, so just for anyone who wants to watch this, whether you're on the protester side or whether you're on the right side, the correct side, if you stand in front of a car, okay, if you stand in front of a car on a street in traffic and dare that person to run over you, when you get run over, and you will, when it happens, not if, when, it is 100% your fault. They did nothing wrong. I'll tell you why. Because they have to go where they're going. They have important appointments. They have children to pick up. They have hospital visits they need to make. They have families to feed. And if you stand in front of their car and you force them to make the only decision that they can make, which is to move, and you get injured, that is 100% your fault. It's literally the stupidest thing I've seen out of this whole thing. It's even more stupid than the riots and the burnings of the buildings and stuff. I mean, that's all pretty stupid. But standing, a big group of people standing in front of a car, and then when the car moves like it's going to, like it always will, and they get hurt or they get run over or whatever, and then they scream, "How dare you! How dare you!" That's like somebody standing in front of a guy with a gun, cocking the hammer on the gun, putting the guy's finger on the gun and pushing it down, and then getting shot in the head and saying, "Oh, how dare you shoot me in the head!" It's that stupid. Um, I just want to throw in a couple of things at the end of this. This is just my rant. I'm not. This isn't a video about religion or really even about politics. It's just about stupidity. I'm just ranting now. But at the end of this video, I'm just going to throw in a couple little things here, just in case anybody was wondering. Black Lives Matter is not a protest movement. It's not about protesting. It has nothing to do with Black lives. It has nothing to do with justice or peace. Black Lives Matter is an army of terrorists on U.S. soil. They may have started, with some noble cause or noble vision, but they certainly have not become that. They are not protesters. They're not peaceful. They have nothing to do with peace. They don't want peace. They don't want unity between races. They don't want justice. All they want to do is get a big mob of people to mindlessly follow them and do their bidding, and it's exactly what they're doing. So don't tell me that I have to support the Black Lives Matter movement in order to support Black lives. That is stupidity, and it's insane. Black Lives Matter movement is not black people. If the Black Lives Matter movement cared about black lives, they would stop worrying about the 16 black people who were killed by racist cops, and they would worry about the 400 or 900 black babies who are being murdered every day in the womb. Okay, that's the epitome of hypocrisy to call themselves Black Lives Matter and worry about those 16 people that got shot by racist cops just because they were white, and that's the only reason they're worried about it. That's all it is. It's just they want to punish white people, white cops, anybody white. It's all about anti-white. They might have white people on their side, but they're just a racist organization. But they're more than that. They're a terrorist group. They're an army. They're an actual army here on American soil, and they are going to win this fight if we don't stand up and do something about it. We can't be timid. We can't worry about offending people. We can't worry about being called racist and all this stuff. You don't have to be, or you don't have to support Black Lives Matter to support black people or black lives. Black Lives Matter is not what it appears to be. It is a terrorist organization. Stop saying that. All right, that's all I wanted to say.